Welcome forward with Jesus' Course in Miracles. I'd like to start with the bottom of page 9. When the deep sleep fell upon Adam, he was in a condition to experience nightmares because he was asleep. Beginning of page 10, chapter 2. If a light is suddenly turned on while someone is dreaming a fearful dream, he may initially interrupt the light itself as a part of his own dream and be afraid of it. However, when he awakens, the light is correctly perceived as the release from the dream, which is no longer accorded reality. It is quite apparent that this release does not depend on the kind of knowledge, which is nothing more than deceiving lies. The knowledge which illuminates rather than obscures is the knowledge which not only sets you free, but which also shows you clearly that you are free. Whatever lies you may believe are of no concern to the miracle, which can heal any of them with equal ease. It makes no distinction among misperceptions. Its sole concern is to diminish between truth on one hand and all kinds of errors on the other. Some miracles may seem to be of a greater magnitude than others, but remember, the first point in this course, that there is no order of difficulty in miracles. In reality, you are perfectly unaffected by all expressed or expressions of lack of love. These can be either from yourself and others, or from yourself to others, or from others to you. Peace is an attribute in you. You cannot find it outside. All mental illnesses is some form of external searching. Mental health, inner peace. Mental health is inner peace. It enables you to remain unshaken by lack of love from without and capable, through your own miracles, of correcting the external conditions which proceed from lack of love in others. The reinterpretation of defenses. When you are afraid of anything, you are acknowledging its power to hurt you. Remember that where your heart is, there is your treasure also. This means that you believe in what you value. If you are afraid, you are valuing wrongly. Human understanding will inevitably value wrongly, and by endowing all human thoughts with equal power, will inevitably destroy peace. That is why the Bible speaks of the peace of God which passeth, or human understanding. This peace is totally incapable of being shaken by human error of any kind. It denies the ability of anything which is not of God to affect you in any way. This is the proper use of denial. It is not used to hide anything, but to correct error. It brings all error into light, and since error and darkness are the same, it corrects error automatically. True denial is a powerful protective device. You can and should deny any belief that error can hurt you. This kind of denial is not a concealment device, but a correction device. The right mind of the mentally healthy depends on it. You can do anything I ask. I have asked you to perform miracles, and you have made it clear that miracles are natural, corrective, healing, and universal. There is nothing good that they cannot do, but they cannot be performed in the spirit of doubt. God and the souls He created are completely dependent on each other. The creation of the soul has already been perfectly accomplished, but the creation by souls has not. God created souls, so He could depend on them because He created them perfectly. He gave them his peace so that they could not be shaken and would be unable to be deceived. Whenever you are afraid, you are deceived. Your mind is not serving the soul. This literally starves the soul by denying its daily bread. God offers only mercy. Your words should reflect only mercy, because that is what you have received, and that is what you should give. Justice is a temporary expedient, or an attempt to teach man the meaning of mercy. Its judgmental side arises only because man is capable of injustice. If that is what he has in mind creates. You are afraid of God's will because you have used your own will, which he created in the likeness of his own, to miscreate. What you do not realize is the mind can only when it is not free. An imprisoned mind is not free. By definition, it is possessed or held back by itself. Its will is therefore limited and is not free to assert itself. The real meaning of are of one kind, which was mentioned before, is are of one mind or will. When the will of the sonship and the Father are one, their perfect accord is heaven. Denial of error is a powerful defense of truth. You will note that we have been shifting the emphasis from the negative to the positive use of denial. As we have already stated, denial is not a purely negative device. It results in positive miscreation. That is the way the mentally ill do employ it. But remember a very early thought of your own. Never underestimate the power of denial. In the service of the right mind, the denial of error frees the mind and reestablishes the freedom of will. When the will is really free, it cannot miscreate because it recognizes only truth. False projections arise out of the false denial, not out of its proper use. My own role in the attainment is one of truth. Projection. Let me read that again. My own role in the atonement is one of true projection. I can project to you the affirmation of truth. If you project error to me or to yourself, you are interfering with the process. My use of projection, which can also be yours, is not based on faulty denial. It does involve, however, the very powerful use of denial of errors. The miracle worker is one who accepts my kind of denial and projection, unites his own inherent abilities to not deny and project with mine, and imposes them back on himself and others. This establishes the lack of threat anywhere. Together we can then work for the real time of peace, which is eternal. That ends the page.